Hey guys, welcome back to the Results Junkies podcast. I am on the road in Las Vegas for work this week. Paul is just getting back to the U.S. from St. John's and getting ready to hop on a plane for another work trip. 2 ships passing in the night, and we've got the final portion of our office hours on the road with Julian Kheel from Points Path, Matt Paulson, founder of MarketBeat, Paul, and myself. We'll likely skip next week since it's Thanksgiving, but you should see us on a regular episode cadence after that. Until then, show at resultsjunkies.com if you want to shoot us an email. He is at Paul Singh on all those social media channels, and I am at Ed Pizza. We hope you found the office hours interesting. We certainly enjoyed our time in South Dakota. Matt Paulson, as always, was a great host. Hope you guys enjoy the episode and look forward to bringing you a normal Results Junkies just around the corner.
But that is my general thought.
I mean, I just love this because it's like, I've just been watching your live feed. It looks like there's a search about every 2 seconds happening.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of.
And it's like, holy cow! Every time, let's hit these guys.
We have and look, this is the advantage of a Chrome extension. Is that once it's in, it's in. You don't have to get people to come back to your website.
Yeah.
Every time they go to Google Flights, it just activates automatically, and they don't have to think of.
And do you know in the current version, like, do you also know like that they went to United.com, even though you don't display anything?
We know that we if you look in Amplitude, we know when they have booked out through the booking link in Google Flights if they clicked on our button to get out via
but
points.
yeah, based on your permissions.
Way the arrow was pointing.
Yeah, based on your permissions, though, you don't know like, oh, he just typed in United.com.
That we don't know.
Yeah, that's cool.
But if they went out through Google Flights, we know.
So by the way, we only have about 10 more minutes with Matt. What do you, I've been hijacking your time. What do you want to know?
No, I think this has been really helpful because I think we covered
You're helping sell his book, clearly.
That too.
You know.
Yeah, I need an affiliate deal on that. Yeah.
That's right.
Actually, it's on Amazon. I've got one. So, yeah. Going back to the original question, and I do get what you said about like go for the lowest hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Because you asked me what kind of business do you want this to be, and I said I don't really know. If you had this business, what do you think it would be? What would you aim for it to be? Would you aim it to be a subscription business, an email business? What do you think it should be?
I think that your unique superpower is getting organic signups, right, from the travel space. Like I couldn't do that, Paul couldn't do that, Ed maybe could do it, I don't know. So like, how do you use that and leverage it to like make the most money possible? I think if you have that ability, like your value is in capturing that audience's attention and then just figuring out a bunch of different ways to monetize it. So I think it's a yes and subscription advertising business, and then you just see how far you can take it based off that superpower that you have.
God, I love this. Average session duration, 6 minutes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
MarketBeat's like 2 or 3.
Yeah. It's 6 to 7 minutes. It's pretty consistent.
So Amplitude's like new Google Analytics, right?
I guess.
Yeah. Well, Google GA4 is kind of a mess.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
Yeah.
Total trash.
Yeah.
What do you pay for this?
Free, but that's just because of our size.
Yeah, I was looking
certain
at it,
size,
and it's like tells you like pricing per MTU, but it doesn't really say what an MTU is.
Yeah, it gets a little wobbly, but fortunately we're small enough that we fall well under their sort of. I think we're on a 1-year startup free pricing plan. If we have to actually pay for it, it'll get expensive.
What's your high level tech stack? So it's Amplitude, and then what are you using for email and all that? Right?
Email is MailChimp, which actually I don't love, but at this point I'm just sort of locked into it. It's tough to change. You don't think it's tough to change? In your book, you say it's tough to change.
Well, you can set up a new one and export your list and import to a new place.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, because we have to change our APIs and all that. It's not that it can't be done. Of course it can be done.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's like, I find it annoying, but not annoying enough yet to change.
Yeah, sure.
And all of our email formats and everything is built in there, and so you just have to do it.
Better to change early than late, though.
Well, it is one of those, like, the longer you wait, the worse it is.
I mean, for like sending out your Saturday email, great. But if you want to do more event-based emails, you probably need to go sign up for a SendGrid account.
Yes. And so we do. So then we also have, just talking about tech stack, because we do some transactional emails already for like our logins. We have an OTP that is run through Amazon SES. So we do already have that set up. And that's also where we'll send when we have price tracking up and running here in the next week or two. That will go through Amazon SES.
We are banned from Amazon SES.
Uh-oh, what'd you do?
Well, when we first started MarketBeat, We were on Amazon SES, and then some third world country support person thought we were running a penny stock scam and banned us. And like we couldn't talk to a real person who like understood English. And I'm like, all right, we're clearly not paying enough money for this, and just went to SendGrid, and we were one of their, first customers in the first 12 months they were doing it, and been with them ever since.
And you like SendGrid as opposed to ConvertKit? I know it's
Well, they're different things.
Yeah, ConvertKit is more of a even SEP versus SAP.
Yeah. So it's like version 1 could be a webhook comes out from Amplitude, and then it sends a MailChimp transactional, and we can mess with that if you want to do today.
Yeah. Well, we got to figure out. We'll have to talk about though. How do you get that link in there that you're talking about that's personalized?
We can sort that out.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Just do the dumbest, simplest thing possible to
Bingo.
start with. And
Right.
Bingo.
like even if it's just sending the same email to everybody that's got the same whatever link.
Yeah.
Well,
Just-
that's the other.
just
option
see
of it.
if you can like stir some stuff up.
Yeah.
Right. 100%.
On this topic though, Matt, like when you sort of alluded to this. You started out, you said with SES, I think, but was there ever a time you used like MailChimp or something like that?
Yeah, we use Mailgun as like for a while. I thought there was like real material risk in like getting banned by an ESP, but then I realized like once you're on a contract, and it's just not really a risk. Like the risk is for the people that pay $20 a month, and then you're a fly on the back of MailChimp, and you're like, I don't like what you're doing, you're out of here. But when you're paying $2 million a year for email and SMS, it's a very different thing.
Yeah.
So you do everything through SendGrid.
SendGrid and Twilio, which are
And
the same
Twilio.
company now.
Right.
Yeah.
And so and I know we're running up on time here. So like so version 1, we're talking about like hard coding some of this stuff. At what point should he be going to things like ClickBank and looking for other affiliate offers to test?
You can do it now.
Just kind of pick an offer you think will work, test it for a couple days. and
Yeah,
just iterate
I
through
mean,
it.
don't even reinvent the wheel. Just go find the most similar travel sites that are out there. And like, is there something everybody's promoting? And if so, it's because they're all making money off of it.
Oh, it's fucking more credit cards.
Well-
or even like, what are the travel YouTubers promoting?
Yeah, I was going to say it's
Anchor batteries.
It's credit cards for the points people, but going to your point, and again, Ed will tell you that I do think about this. You got to broaden it out. You do want to get, that's where we got our early growth, and that's fine. But if we're past that point, and it's like, okay, now how do we get from 64,000 to 500,000? You can't rely on the points people. You got to broaden it out. So then look at the travel newsletters from like a travel and leisure that's a much broader, scope or whatever it might be.
Well, I mean, we started out by focusing on people that were looking for like buy and sell recommendations from like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan. And like that was our little niche of like, we would go find all of those and aggregate them. And like, that was great for the first couple of years. And then realized like, well, these ratings are kind of BS and everybody knows it. But so let's go for all the people that like want to invest in single stocks, but like, and then you just kind of broaden your audience until it doesn't make sense to broaden it anymore.
Yeah, I think I like to your point on credit cards. I mean, not credit cards. There's this secular and the cyclical wheel in this travel space. It's like there's the stuff that sort of ebbs and flows with the economy, and then there's the sort of like the one-offs of like you've got the VPN folks, the eSIM folks. Like I think those are usually dollar-based campaigns, and I think to Matt's point about agency, I'm not sure who the right person is, but I think that could be something else for us to explore, to say like Air Allo right now is talking to all the YouTubers, and they came to us from a podcasting standpoint. It's like, okay, we've got, $5,000 in our budget in November for a podcaster. Do you want that slot? And so I think it's like, how do we get onto those lists when those campaigns come up, and those generally flow through agency. There's, a dozen of those a year that are travel or travel adjacent. Like a VPN is not necessarily travel. Paul uses one. You use one in your home probably, right? Right, because you're not at home. So like travel, so it's travel adjacent, but it's something we could talk about with our customers that you could test.
Well, I will tell you, Matt, I promise that next week you'll see at least 2 emails from me. and
if I have
hopefully
any,
within a couple of weeks, 3.
I was going to say, if I have anything to do with it, it's going to be those 3 plus abandoned version 1.
I hear you. I'm just saying, we gotta do one thing at a time, or we'll do it as quick as we can.
Well, I think, Matt, thank you for the time. This is awesome.
Yeah, this was great.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
To finish off, and I know it isn't a real show, but what credit cards do you guys have in your wallets?
Oh, all right.
You just opened a can of worms.
I'll go get mine.
Yeah,
Then we'll
just
all
open a
go.
can of
I'll be right
worms.
back.
Yes.
Oh boy, you bring out your folio?
Oh yeah, I'll get the other one.
God, look at this. This is like a personal finance guy's nightmare.
Yeah.
Just look at all these credit cards.
There's the wallet in the pocket, and then there's the other
I
wallet.
know. I forgot my travel wallet.
Oh, you didn't bring
I
your
left it
baggie.
in my
You didn't bring
other bag.
you didn't bring your baggie.
I didn't bring my baggie either. Yeah. Ed, do you want to go first?
Holy shit, Ed.
yeah.
You're right, and that's
Well,
not even.
Ed's carrying around everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I have my travel wallet and then the standard wallet. So the standard wallet is heavy on ink cards.
Okay, sort by like what you put the most spend on.
Yeah, so the ink cards for business are the best, and the reason for these, I mean, you'd blow through the maxes really quickly, but they all generally have some category of bonus on social media spend, office supplies, telco bills, cell phone, like all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. So
Like, is that the old one that's discontinued, or the new
well,
one?
there's a mix in there. There's a little bit of both. So I have both.
I also have an ink card for points back for the
Yeah.
website.
yeah, and so that one is
The
3X.
preferred one's the current one that's available, right? And the plus is the discontinued one.
Plus is discontinued,
Yeah.
but there's
Yeah.
also in cash and
And unlimited.
unlimited. Yeah,
Which I also have an unlimited for trip site.
I just got unlimited for the restaurants.
Right.
So, and that one, like it still has the $50,000 limit, but it's 3X on some of the popular categories. And then restaurants is Amex Gold for me, or Built.
I also do Built.
And so those
I
are
do that for restaurants as
What
well.
does Built do for you?
so Built. We're both for clarity, we're both advisors to Built, but what Built has done, they're focused more on renters, but the upscale effect there is where you typically see with Amex or Chase, you'll see like a 15 or 20% transfer bonus to a various airline program. Built is doing 100% and 150% transfer bonuses. So if you're going to travel internationally, you can take a small amount of spend and fold that into a business class ticket to Europe. So
I'm also able, even though I don't rent, my Manhattan co-op fee acts like rent. So I'm able to use that. And there's no fee for putting your rent on the card and rewards.
and then other things that aren't I don't put a ton of spend on. I've got my Costco card because I'm a Costco nerd. 2 Hyatt cards because they're my primary loyalty program for hotels.
Yeah. And then my other simple cards are, I have a custom cash for groceries that I just do nothing but groceries on. And then everything else goes on to my Venture Act, 2X.
All right,
It's
man.
pretty straightforward.
Amex-
Oh, I'm sorry. One more. I have for drugstores.
Freedom.
Freedom card. And whatever the
I'm using
rotating
Built
categories
now
are.
with the Walgreens partnership for
I do
groceries.
like Ed have about 20 more cards at home in a little plastic bag.
The real interesting that the Built just did, and I want to hear your wallet. They did a partnership with Walgreens that I think is going to be really awesome for them. The way it works, it's less about earning points on cards. If you have an FSA or an HSA and you register your credit card through Built's portal, they will scan your receipts and they will refund to your card anything you bought that's FSA or HSA eligible, and they will charge it to your FSA or HSA.
I just stick to an Amex Gold. That gives me a lot of anxiety, all these cards flying around.
I'm sorry.
What's the other giant stack there though?
All right, so
Do you just have like everything?
these are affinity cards for other things.
Okay, so you got the Delta one, you got the Marriott one.
Yeah, so Citibank one. What else we got in here?
United
There's
Club.
my APEC card, the City Advantage card,
Yeah.
United Club Mileage Plus
I
card.
have all these cards too. I just don't carry them with me.
Yeah, why would
Marriott
you carry?
Bonvoy for the occasional Marriott
Yeah,
stay.
I got
I don't
that
know
one.
why
The
Ed's
Delta
carrying
card
them with him.
because it's made a 747. Well, because some of these, like now Marriott requires you to show them the physical card when you check in. So I have
Really?
to.
Do
I have
they?
to-
Oh
I have
yeah,
to
Marriott does do that.
I have to
annoying.
carry the Marriott card.
That's annoying. That's why I don't stay. at
Amex
Marriott.
Platinum. This is probably the old Bonvoy.
Is that
No,
Is that your Centurion card hiding in there?
Yep, it is. It's actually expired. It's the same one. One of these is expired. We actually, during the pandemic, they wouldn't waive any of the fee, and we weren't traveling. And so it was like, well, we're not going to spend $20 grand a
Right.
year for something we're not using.
Right.
So
What about you? What's in there?
Venture X,
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Centurion,
Mhm.
Gold, Ramp card for business, Chase Sapphire Reserve, don't use it much. Marriott card for the same reason. Got my Caesars card in here. We were there.
Oh, I got one of those.
I still got a Nobu card.
Well, I got Caesar's that one.
There you go. He's got his Caesar.
Let's see what else. Oh, 2 Caesars cards. I got to go through these and throw these away.
What do you think about Ramp?
Well, why ramp? Yeah,
The rewards are not great. It's 1.5% cash
Yeah.
back on everything.
yeah.
But it really comes in handy in terms of like virtual cards and limiting spend.
So
So like you set up a new vendor and say, okay, this is a new number specifically for some shady website, max $1,000 a year. If they go over that, decline it. Or that, I mean, it really makes it easy to cancel SaaS stuff because you just cancel the card and eventually they leave you alone.
I've got. I have something else you should look at. Have you looked at Rippling yet?
I've heard of it.
I wrote an article about them for TPG, and the thing that they do that I think is interesting for a business like yours that could be helpful is on top of the stuff that Ramp does, they also allow you to write rules such as
Hold on, what's that? Before you put the Centurion card away, I think Paul might be interested in that one.
This one?
Yeah.
Why? No way, man. I don't need any more.
Paul?
No. You explain what that is.
Well, you know what it is.
Yeah, I know what it
Do
is.
you know what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the Q card, right?
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
It
okay.
is.
I didn't know if you knew. I didn't know if you knew the you card.
Oh no, I know the card.
Okay.
I've pared down my life as much as I can.
And yet you
I
still
used
hang
to
out
do
with
all
us.
this stuff. I was like, yeah, it's nice to only have one card. It's nice to have just one card.
Nice to have one card that doesn't do everything you need
Yeah,
to
I
do.
don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know what you're talking about.
I just don't want any innovation in my legal or
Right.
finance.
Right. Yeah, definitely no innovation.
We're already taking risk on people like you, so
Sorry,
Uh,
Ed, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No,
you,
you're fine.
What you were saying about Rip.
So the rippling thing, Matt, that's interesting to me is they allow you to write travel rules that are unique to your company. So you can say anytime, or spending rules, but I'll use travel because it's the thing that I wrote about for the TPG article. You can say if a person normally travels and books their travel 6 weeks out, you can say if this person is X level or above in the company and they're traveling 2 weeks out, they can spend 30% more budget. So you can write very discrete rules for
I
different
didn't know
people.
that. We use Ripley. I didn't know.
It's very nuanced in terms of how you can write things. So you can say, in terms of vendors, to your point, you can say that your most trusted people cards have higher spending limits with rippling than the most entry level people and all that stuff. So what I saw, because I looked at Ramp a lot too, is just rippling seems to have written a more nuanced rules engine, which if for somebody, that's the reason you're using Ramp, I think rippling is probably a generation forward on writing rules-based things that make it easy to control. And virtual cards, all that stuff's pretty easy.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's nice to have, like, we have people that don't really have a reason for a card, so we just set their balance to 0 and they don't need one.
Right. Yeah. I think that probably where rippling comes in, you've probably seen this, is they're able to integrate your HR stack. And so longevity of employee, rank of employee, those things that typically fold into what spending habits you'd give someone. You can obviously create a unique role for someone, but it can say, like, anytime you have a salesperson who's been here for more than a year, they can now do X, Y, Z.
Sure,
But they
and
can't
I'm sure that makes a lot more sense for companies that have a few hundred employees,
Right.
but
This is where Matt does the humble brag of, like, I make a ton of money with very few
people.
with very few
Yeah,
people.
I like it too.
again, we're no OnlyFans.
Get the book.
Yeah. Matt, thank you, man. I know you're busy. I
Yeah.
appreciate you taking this much time, and it's what you said makes a lot of sense, and I'm going to do it. So we'll see how it goes. But I just getting it from somebody who's done it is really helpful. So thank you.
Well, when you're ready to raise your next round, call me.
I appreciate that. We will be hopefully in a position to show that we have made huge strides from this moment.
Homegrown Capital Fund 2 will have a broader geographic reach, so we shot ourselves in the foot with our first fund. And we will not do that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really going to get to work on this
Love it.
weekend. So
Well, great. I look forward to seeing it.
thank you, sir.
Might be
I
at
appreciate
lunch.
it.
We'll see.
Appreciate it. And thank you for the hospitality.
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
office
This is
is
awesome.
gorgeous, man.
Thank you.
It's really beautiful.